Hello everyone. This will be a mini review slash first impressions video of the PlayStation Vita. I picked up the first edition bundle on the 15th of February from Amazon, which is 7 days prior to the general launch date, which is coming up on the 22nd. And I've had quite a few questions from people looking to pick up the PS Vita on the 22nd. They want to know more about the system, the different bundles, the features, whether it's even worth picking up, any deals you can pick up on it. So decided to make this little video. This of course is the PS Vita itself. It's essentially a PSP2. I'm not real sure why they didn't call it the PSP2. They've been calling the PlayStation consoles PlayStation 1, 2, and PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 3. I don't know if they felt the PSP was a bad name or maybe it had negative connotations for them. I know the PSP didn't do all that great in America. Did pretty good in Japan, but even in Japan it's still called the PS Vita. So anyway, but this is essentially a PSP2. It's more evolutionary than revolutionary. It doesn't really do anything crazy. We'll get into the features of the PS Vita itself, but first let's talk about the bundles. So let's move that out of the way. And this is the box that the first edition bundle comes in. I apologize that I can't get the whole box in view at once. It is an issue with my tripod being a little too low to accommodate this large box, so just bear with me here. Again, this is the first edition bundle. It came out on the 15th. It comes with the little Deviant's game cartridge, a hard case, a 4 GB memory card, and of course the Vita itself. This happens to be the 3G/Wi-Fi version. They do offer, well, there are 3 different ways you can buy the Vita, or 3 different packages you can buy it in, at least right now. There's really only 2 different models. There's the Wi-Fi only model, and then there's the 3G and Wi-Fi model. The 3G model, for better or worse, is only supported by AT&T, so you don't have a choice. It's very similar to the iPad, where it's month to month and you're not tied to any contracts, but it's also pretty pricey. So a lot of folks were actually going to be picking up the Wi-Fi version. On the internet, there were a lot of posts of people thinking that the 3G was just a very unnecessary addition. The 3G is an unnecessary addition to the Vita. Most folks aren't going to be wanting to game on a 3G connection, especially if you're playing something like a fighting game or a first-person shooter. You really can't deal with the lag. So if you're playing a puzzle game or whatever, I guess that would be okay. But for the most part, 3G gaming is not super great for multiplayer. So if you're a hardcore gamer, you're not going to be playing on 3G anyway. And plus, again, the plan is really expensive. So a lot of people were leaning towards the Wi-Fi model. It's $50 more expensive to get the 3G model. And again, you're not tied to a contract or anything. You just basically you're paying for the capability to do 3G whenever you decide to pick up a contract. Or I guess it's a month to month if you can pay a month at a time. In any case, this bundle was $350. It comes with the $299 3G model of the Vita. The game itself is retailing for $30, although it's probably not worth that from what I hear. I haven't even played the game, to be honest. I have other Vita games I've been playing. The case, $10, $15, maybe $20. And this card is the 4 GB card, which is the smallest memory card that is available for the PS Vita. Unfortunately, the cards are proprietary. You can't put in SD cards or compact flash or memory sticks or whatever else. You have to get a PS Vita branded or Sony proprietary PS Vita card. And of course that means that they're charging way too much for them. The 4 GB card is $20, and they have a 16 and a 32 gig and an 8 gig. All available. The largest 32 gig model is $100. So, yeah, sort of a ripoff, but what can you do? The card is, although it's technically optional, it's really essential. You need it. You can't do any saving without it. You can't download anything from the PlayStation Network without it, so you need some kind of card. A lot of folks are thinking that the 4 GB card is probably too small, but that's what came with this bundle. So if you're not planning to download a bunch of games from the PlayStation Network, you probably don't need a super huge card. The PlayStation Network games range from a few hundred megs to maybe, I think the largest one right now is just under 4 gigs actually, so that is pretty big. A lot of them are in the 1 gig range. So on the 4 gig card, you can get anywhere from one game, which is the Uncharted game, that's the largest game, to maybe a handful of PlayStation Network games, or maybe 2 or 3 retail games. Every game that they sell at the retail level, they also will let you download. There's a slight discount if you decide to download it. For instance, I think it's 10%. So if a $40 game, or a game retails for $40 MSRP in the stores, then you should be able to download it for $36 from the PlayStation Network. Now, that sounds like a little bit of a bargain, but the fact is that you're paying so much for the card that it's actually more expensive to download. Some people like paying for the convenience, though, because you can actually, instead of like buying little Deviants and Wipeout and Luminous, you can download them all and put them on a larger card, and then they're all with you all the time. So there's pluses and minuses for that. So I personally will buy the retail cartridges because not only do I like the physical copies, I don't really sell them back, but you can sell them back to, some people buy a game, play it, trade it in, and then buy a new game. You can't do that, obviously, if you download the game. But the reason I like physical media, in this case especially, is because a lot of the retailers will put the physical media on sale. In fact, 2 of the 4 games that I have, or 2 of the 3 I actually bought, one of them's included, were already on sale when I bought them. They were 25% off. So even though you can download Wipeout for less than $40, I think it's 35 or $36. I actually got Wipeout for $29.99 from Amazon with no shipping and no tax. So it was even cheaper than downloading it, and I don't have to waste space on the 4 gig card. So that's up to you again. So let's take a look at the inside of the first edition bundle box. And of course we find another box. I haven't seen the retail version of the 3G non-bundled version yet because it's not out. But I imagine it's going to be very similar to this, if not exactly this box and packaging. So that just basically holds the PlayStation Vita 3G Wi-Fi. And you can see here it says the PS Vita memory card sold separately, required for most gameplay. And most is actually maybe all gameplay, to be honest. So keep that in mind again. Let's see what else we have in the box. We have a manual that I have never opened and probably never will. And then the retail packaging for the memory card. So again, the 4 gig card I think is $20. Pretty overpriced, but whatever. That's the way it came. Then the Little Deviants game. I was surprised to see that it was actually a full retail box release and not just like a download code or just maybe the loose game card. But no, it's the full retail box. And not that there's much to it, honestly, because other than the game, there is nothing in this box. There is a little tab for like paper manuals, but alas, no paper manuals. At first I thought, well, no paper manuals because it's the packing game. Maybe they're trying to save a few bucks. But that's you'll find out that's actually not true. None of the games have paper manuals, unfortunately. This is the hard case. And it's actually a pretty nice case, supposedly limited edition, but I've seen a Hori hard case. That's Hori, H-O-R-I. They're an accessories manufacturer. They have a hard case made by Hori at Walmart. I think it was $15, and it's pretty similar to this. It might even hold more games. This is a pretty nice case. If you like the official PlayStation branded products, it's kind of cool to have. It's got room for headphones or whatever else in there, maybe a charger. I don't even know if the charger fits it. I haven't put it in there. I was hoping this was like an 8-game holder that you can put games on either side because the cards are small, but no, it's just holds 4 games, and then the PlayStation Vita goes in here like so. So yeah, it's okay. does the job. Kind of a strange thing about this case, though, is it sort of has this funny scent. I don't know. Like, I'm reminded of it because I just opened it up and it has this weird, like, odor to it. It's kind of like, you open up new electronics, you get that kind of factory smell. Honestly, I think this is the fabric or something, but anyway. It does the job, even though it smells a little funny. Whatever it's worth. What else comes in the box? Okay, we have a charger, and this is where things start to get a little lame. Here's kind of the power brick. It's not much of a power brick because it's got a standard power cord port and then a standard USB port on the other side. The power cord is pretty universal. They've been using them for a while. Even the Dreamcast had it 10 years ago. PlayStation 3 Slim uses it. PlayStation 2 Slim uses it, so it looks like that. Pretty standard. Probably wondering why I'm showing you the power cord, but I'll get to the reason why in a minute. Or less than that, actually, because here it comes. This part's, again, uninteresting. It's a USB port. You've seen this hundreds, if not thousands of times by now. So that just goes in here. But this is the part that's interesting / lame. There's a proprietary port for the charger. Don't know why. Well, I guess I do know why. Same reason that there's proprietary memory cards. They want to make more money selling you PlayStation branded things. Because it's not micro USB or mini USB, if you lose this or you want an extra cable, guess what? You got to go out and buy a $15 cable instead of a $3 cable because Sony made this proprietary. I don't see why the PlayStation Plus, not PlayStation Plus, the PlayStation Portable, the PSP, had a standard cable, so this is pretty lame. But anyway, you have to deal with that if you want the Vita. So, here are a few of the games. I picked up Hot Shots Golf and Wipeout for $30. Right now, a lot of places are having a buy two get one free sale. Amazon.com, GameStop, and somebody else. Can't remember. Target. Sorry, Target was the other one. So Amazon.com, GameStop, and Target. In fact, Target was, I think, the first one to do it. They all offer different games for their buy two get one free sale. The Target one is sort of a mismatch, or not mismatch, but a mismatch of different games. They don't have the entire selection of launch titles. They have some first party and some third party. GameStop has all the launch titles, but only the first party. There's only a select few that you can do the buy two get one free on. And Amazon also has like a kind of a mishmash of different first party and third party titles that you can do the buy two get one free. The nice thing about the Amazon stuff is that there's no shipping and no shipping costs and no tax, so it's a little bit cheaper there. Unfortunately, they've raised the prices on these because, well, back up to retail. I picked them up at $10 off each, which was effectively a 25% discount. But now they're full price at $40, but they are buy two get one free, so you still save. You end up saving more anyway. So, in fact, every game that I bought is on the buy two get one free. I still didn't come out that bad. I think if I'd gone to Target and done the deal, I think I'd save $8 on the whole thing. So, got those two, and then I got Luminous. Luminous was not on sale. It's a full $40 release, and I've never seen it on sale. But again, the buy two get one free does make it quite a bit cheaper. Sort of disappointing. This is a full retail $40 product, and nothing. No paper manual. Not that I read them, but I mean that just reeks of chintziness. When I pay $40 for something, I expect a little bit more than a shell. They should have something, I don't know, or at least be cheaper. I mean, Luminous was released on Xbox Live Arcade for like $15 a few years ago, so I don't know why they decided to. Well, I do know why. Again, I say I don't know why, but I do know why. They're trying to make money. They're trying to get everything they can out of us. So if we pay it, they'll continue to charge it. I buy everything first day, so I'm part of the guilty. I'm guilty of paying too much for them, but whatever. Eventually the prices will come down. Here's a couple of things or one thing about these two cartridges, or two cards, that is sort of lame. I opened them up and initially I was like sort of excited to see it, like, well, okay, so they have paper manuals, but no, it's an online pass activation code, which if you've bought an EA game in recent times, you'll know exactly what that is. Essentially what they've done is EA started this thing called, I think it was called Project $10 or something like that. What they would do is, because EA only makes money if you buy a game from them new, they don't make any money obviously if you trade in a used game, or trade in a game to GameStop and then GameStop resells their game used. EA makes nothing. So in order to deter that, what they started doing is including online passcodes, so that when you buy the game new, you get the passcode, you enter the code into your console, and you can play online. If you buy the game used and the code's been used up, you can't play online. So if you want to play online, you have to buy another code from EA. You download basically an unlock key from them for $10 so you can play it online. And that's the way that they can get their cut. So Sony kind of picked up on that and said, wow, what a great deal. So we get $10 from the used sale if somebody wants to play it online, and the people that buy it new aren't really penalized. It's sort of lame. It devalues your trade-in for sure. But I think that's the way things are going. They're trying to fight the used game market until GameStop starts paying the publishers a portion of used game sales. They're just going to find ways to try to get theirs. So for what it's worth, that's what's going on with those. Those two were first-party titles, so not necessarily every single game. I don't have any Capcom games or Konami games or any Square games, so if they have online play, they may or may not have online codes. Again, that's purely up to the publisher. That's not a Vita thing only. Let's get back to the console itself. So again, there's the PlayStation Vita. It looks very similar to the PSP again, because it's essentially PSP 2. It's got a much bigger screen this time though. It's a 5-inch diagonal OLED screen. If you don't know what OLED means, it's organic light emitting diode. I think that's what acronym stands for. But it would really, all you need to know is it's the next evolution for LCD flat screen type technology. Most of you are familiar with LCD screens. Then they kind of moved to LED, LCD, and now they're OLED. It's just the next one up. It's sharper, brighter, whatever you want to call it. A few smartphones I think use OLED, but this is the first consumer product I've ever had that has an OLED screen. They're pretty expensive. They don't make TVs out of OLED. Well, they do, but really, really small ones. But you probably will start seeing them in the near future. 40, 50, 60-inch screens will get pretty pricey for OLED, but I guess they got to start someplace with this little 5-inch screen. So, but it's very nice. You will see shortly. So some additions to the PSP. One is the most obvious one, and the one that people were clamoring for almost immediately after the PSP was released, was this right analog stick. These little nubs are actually analog sticks. When they first released the PSP, it didn't have that right stick, so you couldn't properly emulate some PS2 games and PlayStation 1 games even that used the two sticks, namely first-person shooters. You really need a right analog stick. In a first-person shooter, usually this one moves your person and this one aims. So without that, it made it kind of difficult. So that was a no-brainer. Everybody kind of figured Sony would add that stick in, so there it is. Touch screen technology is another thing that was kind of a no-brainer. All the smartphones use it now. The DS has used one for a while. So it was just a matter of time that when the new PSP, or now the PS Vita, came out, that it would have a touch screen. So it does have multi-touch. It detects more than one touch at a time, just like your iPhone or your smartphone, your Android phone. It's still only got one set of L and R buttons, so that's probably not too big of a deal. I guess sort of make up for that, they have added this kind of thing that nobody asked for, but I guess this is their attempt at innovation. They put a back touch area here, so this whole little square area here, it's actually a bunch of little cross, circle, triangle, and squares. This is all touch sensitive, so when you touch the back of it, it detects it up here, so you can kind of like deform the terrain, or sometimes there's a menu that you can like hold down and it'll pop up there. There's these kind of dead zones here to kind of keep you from always touching the back screen, but it's there. Right now it's sort of a gimmick. Most things start out as a gimmick, like the touch screen. It's got a mic. This has got a microphone too. It's basically just they threw everything they could at it. They got the touch screen on the front, then they added the back touch screen. It's got dual analog sticks. It's got the front-facing camera and the rear-facing camera. So yeah, it's pretty much it's ready to go. It's got everything that you could possibly think of for a portable gaming system at this time. One thing I did kind of notice that was a little weird is because this was added, I'm not really sure that it's at a good location, because when I was playing Wipeout, you can see kind of my thumb touches there, so that's kind of annoying, but I guess I'll get used to it. I would prefer it a little bit lower, maybe a little bit more in, but I mean, I understand they're trying not to make it so wide. The whole thing is a little bit bigger than a PSP. It's pretty light actually, because it doesn't have any mechanical drives. The old PSP had the UMD drive. Because this is all flash memory, it doesn't have to deal with that, so that's a good thing. It's pretty light. It's got the PlayStation button, which kind of gets you down to the home screen, and then a select and start. Again, the select and start, a little difficult in placement to hit during gameplay. I imagine that people will program properly for them and not make them essential to hit in a quick, if nothing that needs quick presses would be on select and start, because they are hard to see, especially in the dark. They're not lit. The PlayStation button does actually light up, and in fact, that's how you can tell if it's charging. Another thing, again, it only has one set of L and R buttons, but with the back touch being what it is, it may be possible to use this as kind of your L2 and R2 right here. While we're up here, let's show, here's the power button, the hardware volume control, which I like to be able to change the volume without having to go into a menu. Here's the game slot. I'm not a big fan of this little floppy door here. I just can imagine many PS Vitas ending up with no door cover. So, yeah, whatever, I guess. If you go all download, you won't have to worry about that. There's an extra port here. I don't know what it's for. It looks proprietary. I don't know. Maybe, is it USB? No, it's definitely not USB. I don't know what it is. But it looks like it's got a port there, and I think maybe that's a port too. I don't know what it's for. I probably should look at the manual, but it's there. Again, the camera. Here's the charging port. Again, it's proprietary, and then the headphone jack. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's got a couple of speakers. I don't even know where the microphone is. One of them might be a speaker, one microphone. I think they're both speakers. But, yeah, that's a general overview of the PS Vita. Let me turn it on here real quick. I don't want to run too much longer. But, did I hit it? A couple of times I think I didn't hit it, and maybe I have to hold it down a little longer. There it is. I know it's got a charge because I charged it all night. Again, this screen is absolutely beautiful. It's easily the most impressive part of this thing. So I got to hurry up here. These little page things are kind of new to the Vita. That's kind of their thing. It's currently got Hot Shots Golf in there. It's sort of very app-like interface. With, if you're familiar with the iPhone, it'll be pretty similar. So you can see the pages right here. It's almost like you're holding the iPhone like this, and you can go through the different screens. But Super Stardust Delta is one of the few games, actually the only game that I've downloaded from PlayStation Network. It's only like 200 megs. It's got the installs, or partial installs, for the other games I played. There's Luminous, Wipeout, Hot Shots Golf. Here are the settings, maps. As soon as you get your Vita, you'll probably have to update it. I did. And it added like Google Maps and some other garbage that I'll probably never use. It's got a web browser. It's pretty lousy. I mean, I've used it just to try it out. It's lousy. I'm not even going to show it to you. You'll see it yourself. Here's the PlayStation Network store. If you notice, it's very app-like in that you have to start everything. Even stuff like the settings, it's kind of annoying. Like usually you would think that oh wow, I got there's a system update. Well, I'll do that later. So let me hit the PlayStation button and back out, so we can't see that. There's photos, trophies. Here's like the settings. You actually have to start it up like an app, which is sort of lame. I don't know. Maybe that's probably being nitpicky, but whatever. If you hit the PlayStation button a few times, you can actually go through the different things you got started. So let's start up a game. So here's Hot Shots. And again, so here's the manual. There's no paper manuals. Every game that I played so far, and I imagine all games will be like this, it's got a set of icons up at the top that let you do certain things. I think this is refresh, but this one right here is the manual. So here's actually what the paper manual would have looked like. It's not really good if you want to go to a certain page. I don't know if you can. Okay, so you can make them smaller to go faster. And go one at a time, but you can't select like a certain chapter. There's no like hot links. It's not like HTML or whatever. It's kind of annoying, but let's exit out of that. There's some other things. If you wanted to like look up something for Hot Shots Golf, you wanted to start the browser, it would actually exit out of the game so that you could start the browser, which is a little annoying. But let's start the game. And again, I don't have a whole lot of time. This ran much longer than I expected. Just to show you just a little bit of a game. Can you skip this? This is the game I've played the most, honestly. So you will see that the graphics are very similar to the PlayStation 3 type graphics. This is sort of a weird game. It's really fun, but it's got a lot of weird things going on. It's if you played any of the Hot Shots Golf, you know exactly what to expect. It's an arcade style golf game. It's weird because like there'll be British and characters and whatnot, and they're all bowing to you like Japanese and throwing out the peace symbols when they take photos and whatnot. It's very, very Japanese. Let me see if I can start a game real quick. So this is the Pro. I've played quite a bit, but let me start it like an easy one. And just get started. Let's let it do the flyby. There is loading time, even though it's flash memory. There's still loading time. You're not going to get away from it, although it's much faster than disk. If you all remember, the PSP, especially the first games, had horrible loading times. Just want to show you a little bit of the graphics. Again, this is not the super graphical powerhouse game, but it still looks pretty nice. So again, this screen is absolutely beautiful. I'm probably going to play poorly here, but, well, look at that. I hit a nice shot. I mean, it looks really, really good. A lot of the games are existing franchises. There's not a whole lot in the new game department. I'm going to go ahead and exit out. Luminous is a PlayStation portable launch game. Wipeout has been around forever on the PlayStation. Hot Shots Golf has been around a long time too. The Super Stardust Delta game is just a variant of the Super Stardust game for the PlayStation 3. Really, the only new game I have is Little Deviants, and that's a collection of mini games that, I haven't even played it. It's supposed to kind of take you through all the different things that the PlayStation Vita is capable of. It just shows off all the technology. There's actually a Welcome Park area that does sort of the same thing. See, it's making me exit the Hot Shots Golf. You can only run one application at once. You could do some things that leave pages open, but let's see if this starts up pretty quickly.
Why don't you try a tutorial that uses the camera next?
Alright, so you can do, like here, this one tells you about the touchscreen, how you can do multi-touch and whatnot. There's games that use the camera and the microphone and whatnot, so it's pretty cool. It's helpful if you want to just show off the different features to your friends, or you just want to check them out yourself. But yeah, the system itself is pretty solid. It's very well constructed. Sony hardware is always very high quality. Very happy with the weight. The size is big, but you know that's kind of the price you pay for having such a large screen. But yeah, it's very good. Should you buy it? If you liked the PSP, you should buy it for sure. You probably have already pre-ordered it. If you're looking for a portable gaming device that's dedicated to gaming, and you're a pretty hardcore gamer, you should probably pick it up as well. If you don't really game on the go, it's still pretty cool. A lot of people use it, you know, straight up, just in the can. That's a very high usage for portable gaming devices, or in bed, right before you go to bed. So some people like to read, some people like to game. If you don't want to play, you know, a console game in your bedroom, you can do that. You can use it on car trips, of course not while driving, but if you do a lot of commuting, you may want to pick it up. The games are big in that they're not small scale like iPhone games. The biggest con of the PS Vita is that it's also its biggest pro. It's a dedicated gaming device. It tries to do other things like browsing the internet and whatnot, but really it's a dedicated gaming device. It's got a big, beautiful screen. If you love games, pick it up. Now, whether you should get the Wi-Fi or 3G, if you get in early, I would pick up the 3G version, the $2.99 version. I don't know if you can get the first edition bundle anymore, but honestly, little deviants and the case probably don't make it worth it, and the 4 gig card is not huge. But by now, if you're watching this, the PS Vita is probably already out. So I would just get the 3G version because you get an 8 gigabyte card, which is $40, and a free PSN game, which is valued at $10-15. So you get a pretty good value. If you can't find a launch bundle with that free 8 gig card and a free PSN game, I would just pick up the Wi-Fi model. It's $249.99, and just pick up one of the buy two get one free sales. So you pick up 3 games. The games range from $29.99 to $39.99. Actually, that's false. There's a $49.99 game, which is the Uncharted game. But from what I hear, Sony won't be releasing any more $50 games. That's the rumor. So most of them will be the $30 or $40. The PlayStation downloadable games are $10 to $15. So again, and then the price of the memory card is anywhere from $20 if you don't get one for free for the 4 gig version, all the way up to $100. If you're going to buy a memory card and you can afford it, I would just get the 32 gig version, even if you don't need all the space now. It's kind of future-proofing yourself. It'd be nice to be able to store all the games on your 32 gig card. It would be nice if Sony would let us buy the retail game and copy it to the memory card at least once, but they don't seem to be allowing that right now. But in any case, it'll store videos and music, and I can't imagine you carrying this around as your music or video player because it's pretty big. But then again, it is nice and big, so maybe you do want to carry it around for videos, not really for music. But it'd be great if they had Netflix for it. There's plans. I hear it's going to be coming out when the PS Vita really launches, and heck, maybe that was what the system update was for. But in any case, it's a high-tech piece of equipment. I know it's pretty pricey. The 3DS started at $250 as well, and this is way, way better than the 3DS technology-wise. In fact, I almost never played my 3DS even when it was brand new, but the PS Vita I've actually played quite a bit. As far as games, most of the games are older franchises. So if you've already played one of the games in an earlier game in that franchise and you liked it, pick that up. There's not a whole lot of new IP for the PS Vita launch, so unfortunately. There is a game called I think it's Escape Plan that I played a demo of it. I was pretty interested in it, and it's actually turns out it's a PlayStation Network game for $15. I'll probably pick that up, but most of the stuff that you'll see for sale is like some variant of something you've played before. So anyway, if you have any questions, you can leave a comment in the video thread, or you can send me an IM or an email if you know me. If not, just leave a comment in the thread, and I'll get back to you. All right. So again, just a quick summary. There's going to be 3 bundles, or 2 bundles and 1 freestanding Wi-Fi version. That's $250, $300, and $350. So again, just buy the Wi-Fi version if you don't buy it on launch day. Otherwise, I'd recommend the $300 version. If you still see the first edition bundle, honestly, I would skip it, which is the one I have. All right, so good luck and happy gaming.